Well. Ooh, there was a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
Everything that was not in the previous episode was in this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, Will and Kristen, back with the circle. My first note is I have Chloe and Psychic John. She was talking to John. It was just funny.
It was funny. Super funny. She's an idiot. I love her. She's dumb like a fox.
Yeah.
It's very funny. She couldn't let go of the, like, two-headed snake thing.
Be careful who you trust, because there are definitely snakes in this game, and some of them have more than just one head.
More than one head? Oh my God.
The whole time. What could it mean?
Message. I'm actually dying to see who has two heads in here.
Do you not realize that she literally said two messy queens and then said it was a snake with two heads right after?
And I was like, it's literally everybody was like, it's Courtney and River. What are you not getting?
Did she explain any conspiracy theories on a snake with two heads? I'm baffled.
Chloe, why are you so straightforward? Can't ask questions like this in front of everybody. They're in here. Oh, my girl, Chloe.
Oh, and or just someone being two-faced. It's one of two conclusions.
Yeah.
And Delisa was like, you can't just ask.
Yeah.
Like,
it was very funny, though.
I kept wanting to be like, it's not a literal two-headed snake.
I feel like Kat went to see Trevor to see if he was real. He wasn't real because he had two heads. Fucking hell, I'm talking to someone and flirting with someone and thinking of a future with someone that might potentially have two heads.
Someone is a literal Hydra.
And then, because Psychic John was like, remember, actions speak louder than words. And she was like, that's so profound.
Yeah.
But I can't see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the thing is, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? But
it was like as if like God himself was burning the bush in front of her and saying like, and she'd never heard anything so profound and interesting and so like applicable to real life. It was so funny.
And weirdly, Jack and Lisa are like,
they are like
doing well,
nailing it.
I guess they balance out. I don't know.
Two really awkward, weird people together
so
make one normal human person.
So Kat went and saw Delisa.
Yeah.
It's actually my favorite thing about the show is because everybody in the show treats the show so seriously.
Yeah.
It's like biblical text. And they're all so scared when the person comes to see them. And literally, I don't think we've ever seen someone not immediately hug and laugh.
No, well, because weirdly, or I guess not weirdly, it makes perfect sense to me. Nobody is going to see the person they didn't like. They all have chosen to go see someone that they did feel they had a real connection with.
No, well, a couple people, I can't remember, but in season 1, someone went to go see someone they didn't trust because they wanted to make sure.
Did
and they still laughed because it was like, I think once you're with another human for the first time in 2 weeks,
Sure.
the reality of the absurdity of the situation.
It must come to root, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because Kat and Delisa were like best friends talking, and Kat was just like, "There's no hard feelings, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I'd have done the same, and meanwhile, like 10 minutes beforehand, she was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah, 100%. No, it was really funny. I do, although, still mad props to Delisa's compartmentalization because she was like, "It's all true. I just am like, it's my husband, so it's all true." And I was like, except you killed yourself in this scenario. Like, it's so bizarre.
So I think Delisa's my favorite player. She's not my favorite person, but she's my favorite player.
Sure.
Because she, I think, is playing the best game. She's not underestimating anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the people who think they've got it all figured out and who are playing like the strategy side, they're quick to sort of judge or belittle or undermine things. And she's really, because even when she was talking about Chloe, she was talking to Chloe about Kat, and she was like, I'll go with she's a little naive. She understands the value in Chloe. She's not like she's an idiot. She'll believe whatever I say.
Right.
Because that's not true.
No, it's definitely not true.
And I think it's fascinating how the game has fallen in such a way where it is chess and not checkers. and Delisa's the king, and Delisa's the queen, and Chloe's the king on a chess piece. Because each person needs Chloe because she's genuinely the most popular, but she's not
the most powerful.
And it's sort of wild.
She's the one you have to take out to get to. Yeah.
And so it's wild seeing Delisa delegate to Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because I think anyone else, especially a man, like if that were Trevor wouldn't think
to delegate to a man.
Use Mitchell in that way.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was fascinating watching her do that. And I mean, I actually do even think on some level she was like, I know what to do.
Yeah. Well, what was interesting to me is that she was like,
because Mitchell was also sort of looking for leadership.
Yeah, 100%. And I love that Delisa was like, well, we need Chloe. And in order to do that, we need to give her another shiny toy, essentially. And that would get her away from Courtney and River. And I was like, that is interesting. If she can, especially when she was having like a little bit of doubt about River in the like voting. I don't know. I'm into it.
It was that caught my interest.
Yeah.
Really well. And then Mitchell going in with Chloe. It's so funny that she's so powerful.
Yeah. Also, that actually was a really cute conversation.
It really was. And it's like,
did she claim she got bullied a lot though?
She really did.
Okay, look,
maybe.
That's a lot of facial features on a kid, so maybe.
Well, and also, I mean, just being pretty doesn't mean that. I mean, well,
kids are dicks.
Because I forgot that he had only told the audience the whole virgin thing.
Yeah, I thought it was in his profile.
I'm split because I equal parts want to talk about it and I don't.
Yeah.
The thing is, we mentioned it once before, and I don't want to be reductive. If it is,
I don't want to be like he's 100% gay
or like what's wrong with him,
no,
or
there's
like
wrong with him.
But the thing is, it's like I very much
there might be something wrong with him,
but it's not an if and
sure.
Because he came out with it in this episode where he was like, "It's my faith," and I'm like, if that's entirely your decision and your feelings about it, then I think that's fantastic. I don't know that I believe it is. I think it was maybe, I don't know, thrust upon him culturally.
Yeah.
And he, in many ways, it just sort of, what I said in the first was, I was like, first of all, virginity is not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a thing. And second of all,
it's a social construct.
If it is, it has to be for you.
Yeah.
Not for your parents or what you think God wants of you.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just don't, he comes off as genuine to me. Like for the most part,
I want to say like 95% genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he seems nice.
Yeah.
He takes risks and swings, and he seems to be someone that has integrity. Although, and all of that withstands. This isn't a but.
He got real butt hurt in this episode.
I understand.
Yeah.
As someone who's prone to butthurtitude.
He was real butthurt.
And
that wall of text was alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of them were like, whoo. And again, that it's so funny to get to see different people because all of them visibly reacted to the
wall,
the amount of text that was sent. He's like, well, now I see how it is. And I was kind of like, I don't know. Do you? Because I feel like
you don't.
Yeah, you're leaning right into what they were sort of criticizing.
Exactly.
And I mean, I get it. It's and also you have to remember he came in late.
Yeah.
And his comrade was sent home.
Yeah. Well, it was like he was the like best performer, which was absolutely a dig.
Mm-hmm.
That was like not a good, and I think that's part of the issue for like us as viewers is that like what I'm getting from him is I believe that is his true personality. And so the fact that people were like, and then he got like tied to ass kisser one, he does not come across as an ass kisser to me. River comes across as an ass kisser.
Well, and he was kind of delighted by that.
Chuffed by it. I mean, he was like, yeah, all right, thank you so much. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of pain in there with Mitchell.
Another one of my favorite things about the show, and we don't get a lot of it, which is probably for the best, but I have a slight voyeuristic streak. And I love watching people be weird when they think they're alone.
Yeah.
because everybody does it. And I don't mean that in a sinister way, but I just mean like that sort of level. It's like when you're living with someone and you've gotten fully comfortable with someone, and it's just like my brother would come home from work singing Motown at the top of his lungs.
Sure.
And like just seeing Mitchell as the announcer for himself on the red carpet and then walking
So
the red
cute.
carpet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we got Mitchell getting ready to come down the catwalk. Over out. Go ahead, Mitch.
like just seeing the little flourishes, or I mentioned earlier, like Chloe playing Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Or like River Lee writing poetry. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know, just seeing the weird things people
When
do.
he was doing like step aerobics in this episode, like without a step and in the apartment, not at the gym, it was very funny.
But I love that. I find that all very fascinating. And we kind of mentioned it in our last coverage, but Jack and Lisa are sort of this weird power couple. They're kind of delighted by each other.
Yeah, I think they both are like, what's this interesting creature I found myself thrust upon? And they like don't 100% get it, but they're like there for the ride.
It's an odd couple.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
They're also, the height differential is like...
we got some cheap shots in this episode about it. Oh, so Mitchell's deduced that Courtney was the Joker. And
I don't know that he has any proof for that.
he's right.
He is right. It's just wild that people are like, I know it's this for a fact, and they're right, except they don't have the fact.
It also hasn't been a constant.
Right.
It happened once. And so
Yeah.
part of me is sort of like, granted, I mean, we took a 2-week break in between,
Yeah.
but it's sort of like, we're still talking about that.
Yeah, why? Who
That's-
cares?
But the thing is that they think Courtney, which Courtney is absolutely one of the more strategic players.
Strategist.
But they are convinced that the Joker was trying to screw over Chloe. And since the Joker was Courtney, Courtney was
Right.
trying to screw over Chloe.
Right.
And we had to pause and be like, wait, was he? And to the best of our memory, she was sort of in the middle for him.
Yeah,
when
at
he
the
was-
time, he like didn't care as much. And so he was like, because he was more focused on getting rid of Emily than anything else. And so it was just sort of like nothing about Chloe.
Well, I think he said, I think he was indifferent. I think he was like,
Yeah.
well, whatever. If we lose her, we lose her.
Yeah.
But
And then
in
they
the
like
time since,
BFF'd after.
River instituted the Kardashians.
Yeah.
But they're using this, the way that they're relying on the evidence of people being two-faced is to have, like, people change their minds.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, every single one of so many of my best friends are people that early on I might have had like a negative,
Sure.
like we had a negative interaction, our
We
first
did,
interaction.
yeah.
And if that dominated our, like, it just, I don't know. It's the way it's,
Look.
it's the,
You were being a brat and I was being a bitch. And look where we are now.
yeah. So there's one more elimination.
Yeah, for me, the thing about that is that Mitchell is like, he very specifically is like, we need to tell Chloe that Courtney hates her.
That
And it's
Courtney's
like-
out to get her.
But that's like clearly not the case anymore. So that's what I'm curious about going
I mean,
forward.
Courtney would sell her
Sure.
out, but
Sure. This is like, at the certain point, this is the Hunger Games. You can only have alliances for so long.
I'm going in big right now. My two champions are Chloe and Delisa / Trevor.
Same. Hard
Um,
same. Yeah.
Either of them sort of who I would want
Yeah.
to take this. I want Chloe to take it
Me too.
because I want to prove that.
Dumb hot girls can win stuff.
No, that a pure heart can conquer all.
Sure.
And massive tits.
Yeah, she is talking about her massive boobs all the time. It's very funny.
All right. Well, we will check back in after the next episode.
Yep. Bye.